In this video, we'll be building a full-stack journaling app from scratch. We'll be using Google AI Studio as our IDE, GitHub for version control, Supabase for backend, and Netlify for deployment. This app will allow users to create accounts, write, edit, and delete journals, making it the perfect tool for self-reflection and mindfulness. We'll walk you through the entire process from setting up the project structure to deploying the app live. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just starting out, you'll learn how to bring a real-world app to life using cutting-edge tech. So if you're ready to get started building something awesome, let's get started. For the first step, simply come to Google AI Studio, and here we are going to paste in our prompt. I'll just paste in my prompt, and it says build a fully functional daily journal app with login and email sign up. The app shall allow users to create and delete their journal entries with all data securely stored. Users should be able to log out and return to the home page as well. Make a polished UI with balanced color theme. Now make sure you choose the Gemini 3.0 model. There are different models here. You can see Gemini 3.3 Pro Preview, 3 Flash Preview, 2.5 Pro. Make sure you have 3.3 Pro Preview rather. Now you can also dictate your app. You can just speak into your microphone and it's going to type out the text here. That's text to speech. And also in future builds, I'm going to teach you how to integrate all of these other functionalities. Take for example, you have Nano Banana powered app, create conversational voice app, animate images with VO, use Google search data and all that. But for now, we are just going to click on build and it's going to go ahead and start building this app. Now, one thing you should be mindful of is that for this tutorial, our focus is not on the beauty of the app, but on the functionality of it. So we are not going to be tweaking designs, tweaking fonts and typographies and colors and things like that. We're just going to be focusing on the actual functionality of this app. So it's going ahead. You can see it's building a checklist, metadata.json, index.html, index.tsx, and these are the different files which is going to go ahead and create. Now this is the app which Gemini has produced, or Google AI Studio rather, and you can see it's really good. I like the design, and it says Lumina. Now let's click on get started and we'll try to create an account. I'll just put in my credentials and create an account right now. You can see I'm now logged in and it says hello just for you have written 0 reflection so far. Tap the button to get the personalized writing prompt from Gemini. Wow. Let's look at that. Let's see if that works. Now, mind you, I didn't ask for this. It just went ahead and did this by itself. And it says if you were to forgive yourself for one thing today, how would your breathing change? I'll click on another. I'm just testing this out. And it's generating. And it says if your hardware room, what is the first thing a guest would notice upon entering? Wow, that's the prompt. Anyways, I'll just test the actual functionality. I'll click on save entry. Let's just say I'll type here things to do today, and I'll see read a book. Now you can see we already have an issue here because this text is black while this background is also dark gray. So the text kind of camouflages, but either way, I'm just going to type, I'll say read a book, run it. And then I'll click on save entry. And you can see there, it says read a book, run it. And if I click to write another one, I say things to do tomorrow. Did I spell tomorrow well? And then I'll say run, eat, sleep, walk. I'll click on save entry. Now you can see all of them. If I click on this, you see that things to do today. I'll go back to dashboard and then things to do. So this is the interface and it's looking quite good. But there's just one thing. If I refresh or I reload this app, you're going to notice that all of this on the back end is going to be done away with. It's going to be cancelled. Now, mind you, you can also delete them from here. But if I reload this app, we're not going to see all of this again. And that is because there is no database. There is no backend database. This is just an interface. There is no backend database that actually stores all of these. So let me just click to reload app, and you'll see I'm going to be locked out of this, and I'm going to have to sign in again. So that you can see I've been signed out, and I can, if I try to use the same credentials I used to log in, it's going to tell me I can't log in. So that's where we need to create a database. And for that, the first thing you need to do is to come to Supabase and make sure to create an account and then create a project. So I'm going to create a project. First of all, you have to create an organization, and then you have to create a project. So I'm going to create a project here. I'm just going to say, let's just say journal app, and then you can give it any password. I'll just give it a password, and I'm going to create a new project. You can choose your region and then create a new project. For the password, never mind. It's very unlikely that you're going to be using it in the future, but make sure it's something you can remember. Now, what I want to do is that if you come now on the database, we don't have anything here. We don't have anything here. We don't have any tables. You come to table editor. We don't have any tables. I'll go back to project overview. Now, coming back to my Google AI Studio, I want to tell it to, I want to say, okay, create the required database tables that I can, or create the required Supabase database tables that I can store data, rather. And I'll say provide them in SQL format so that I can just run in Supabase SQL editor. You're going to see what this is all about when we get to Supabase, and I'll click on run. Google AI Studio has created these SQL commands which I can just run in Supabase. I'll copy this, but for some reason the app now shows me a blank screen. I'll reload this app. Anyways, I'll just create the Supabase tables and then come back. I'll come now to table editor, click on SQL editor, and just paste that code there and click on run. If there's nothing wrong, you see no rows returned. If there's an error, then you're going to see an error message. While it does that, let's come back here, and if I reload this entire thing, I'm going to see what happens. If it still gives me the blank screen, and then I'm going to tell it, I now see a blank screen here. All right, let me tell it, I now see a blank screen on the app preview. Check and fix it. I'll come back to Supabase. It says no rows returned. So what this means exactly is that it's been successful, and we'll come to table editor. If we come to table editor, let's come to database. So these are the tables. These are the different entries on the table. So when we create any information, we're going to see it somewhere around here. So we have entries, profiles. We're going to come back and see that in a minute. I'll return to Google AI Studio. It's trying to diagnose what's the issue here. After going through some iterations and some troubleshooting, I finally got the app back, so it's no longer the blank screen. Now that we've created the database using Supabase, The next thing we need to do is to come and to connect Supabase with our Google AI Studio. And so for that, you need to come back to your project. So come to project settings. Now, click on API docs. I'll just come back to the project settings, and then where you see API keys, we're going to get some information from that. But generally, the first thing we need to pick is the project ID. So I'm going to copy that. I'll come back to Google AI Studio, and I'll see these are the Supabase credentials. I've pasted the project ID. Next thing, I need to come back to Supabase, and I need to get some API credentials. So I'm going to click on API keys. And here, you want to go to legacy or add-on services. You click there. Don't use this yet. These are a little bit complicated. Click on legacy. And I want to click on the add-on public key. Once that is pasted, I'll now look for the project URL. I'll come here, and I want to come back to data API. The project URL should be somewhere. Okay, here's the URL. Here's the URL. So what this is going to do is that it's going to connect this front-end app to the Supabase backend, such that whenever any information is created, any login, any account created, any journal created, is going to be stored in the Supabase database. I'm going to click on run, and it's going to go ahead and start processing its thing. Now I'm simply going to tell AI Studio I have run the SQL code and created the required tables. So I'm going to click on run. Now I'm just simply telling Google AI Studio that every command it gave me, I've run it. So it's going to do whatever needs to be done in order to make us able to sign up using these sign up buttons. I'm going to click here on don't allow. Why do you want to access my computer? Now, when it's done, we're trying to sign up again with using the same email address which we did, and then we're going to see the response. And it says, I've polished the Lumina journal app into a world-class experience, and it's going ahead and doing some more stuff. Now that it's done, we'll just go ahead and click on get started again. Now I'll try to log in, or I'll try to sign up with the same email address. We are now signed in, and I'll just click on create new reflection. I'll see for today. And what do I want to do today? I want to play. I want to sleep. I also want to jump. So I'm going to click on save. I'll click on save again. For some reason, it's not saving. I'll click on save. I'll now come back here, and it's showing me an error, and I'll just click on auto fix. Perhaps this is the error, the fact that it's not saving. You will notice that it went ahead and fixed the save error. It detected that there was a save error and it fixed it. So I'll just try to create an account again, or just log into my account. I'll just go back and log into my account, and then I'll try to create another journal and save it. Now I'm logged into my account. I want to create some new entries and say, for today, I'll say, eat, pray, love. I'll save now. And it says save error, new rows, violate low security levels table and all that. And see, Google AI Studio already detected this. So it gave me this particular, it says, if the error says new row, violates row level security policy, ensure you have run the following SQL to allow the app to write data. So I'll just copy this. I'll come back to Supabase, and I want to come to SQL editor, and I want to run that particular SQL editor code. I'm just going to paste this inside here. I'll Command V, and I'll run this this will definitely fix that error. Okay, so it's been successful. I want to come now. Let me reload this. Well, I've just reloaded the page. I'll try to log in now. I'll put in my password, click on sign in, and it tells me email not confirmed. Now I have to come back to Supabase, and under authentication, there is a setting which I want to change, and it should be this sign in. I want to go back down. Is that sign in configuration? Let me go to email. There's a setting I need to toggle off. Now this is easier under sign in providers. Where it says confirm email, toggle that off. Click on save changes. Come back and I'll reload this. I'll just copy this email and I will just reload this. I'll click on login. I'll paste that. And then I'll try to log in again. Email still not confirmed. I don't know what's the issue. Let me try to debug that. So I discovered the issue was that the verification email or the confirmation email sent to my inbox, I had not used it. I had not clicked on confirm. So let's just try to do this again. I'll just say for today. And I'll say eat, pray, love. I'll click on save and boom, it works. I'll add another one. I'll say for tomorrow. I'll say eat, pray, love, and I'll click on save. And you can see that. So it shows us that it works pretty well. Now, one thing you want to do is that you can share this app. This is going to be the link, but they'll need to open it using Google AI Studio. You can publish the app here and it's still going to be seen just on Google AI Studio link. I'll just remove that first. And one thing you notice about programming is that it's all about testing. So the first thing we need to do is to test, to refresh this page to see if this is still going to be on this page after the refresh. So I'll click on reload. We need to see that it works when these two items are still here after the refresh. Now, the first thing you notice is that even after the refresh, you still see that I have my dashboard button here, which shows that I've not been locked out. So if I click on my dashboard, let's see if those items will still be here. If they are still here, then it shows me that the system works very well. Now you see them here. So it shows us the system works very well. Now, the second level of verification is that we need to go to the database, which is in Supabase. And let's go to the table. Now, I need to refresh this page. Now that the page is refreshed, I'll go to database. And I want to see if my data is here. I'll click on entries. I'll click here. Now look at this. We have eat, pray, love, and this is the same user ID. You see it's the same. Now let's take it one step further. I want to log out of this current account. I'll log out of this current account and I want to create a new account. So I'm going to log out of this and I want to click on sign up. I'm going to use a new email address to sign up and we're going to see the difference on the dashboard. If it's different, if we have different entries, then it proves that Supabase is doing a good job at separating user entries. I've created a new account. You can see instead of L here, we have S. Now I want to create, let's say, new reflections. I'll just see new one. And I'll see something for the road. I hope I spelled that well. I'll save that. And I want to see code 2. And I'll see somewhere in the world. I'll save this. What I need to do now is that I need to come to Supabase and check if the data entries are there because I already disabled user confirmation. I'll come back to Supabase and I want to reload this database. Now you can already see it flashed that. So you can see, you see old 2, you see new 1. So it shows us and it's showing us the user IDs. They are different. Look at the user IDs for these two. they are the same, and the user ID for these two, they are the same. So our app works perfectly well. Now, the next step which we need to do is to deploy this app. The first thing we need to do is to deploy this app to GitHub. GitHub is a version control software. So simply click on go to GitHub, save to GitHub rather, and call it, let's see, Mindful Journal. And then that's the repository name. And then the description, let's see, repo for Mindful Journal. I'll just say, let me correct that, repo for Mindful Journal. And let it be a private repository. I'll click on create GitHub repo. It says failed to create authentication error. I'll try again, and then I'll still try again. Now I'll just try to troubleshoot this. Now it asked me to sign into Google GitHub again, and I've gone ahead and done that. Now that I'm signed in, I'll just try to click. I'll just reload this. I'm sure it should detect that I've signed in again. If I click here, or for some reason it's still asking me to sign in, I'll sign in again. So I've signed in again. So we shouldn't have any issues anymore. I'll just say MG uh, journal, MG journal, and I'll see repo for MG journal. I'll do that. Now I'm pushing this to GitHub, and it's telling me loading file differences. So these are all the files in this folder. I'll just click on stitch and commit all changes. So I see now I have no changes to commit, which means all my files have been committed to GitHub. So if I come now to GitHub, you see this is MG Journal. And we now have it here. You can also try to share this particular repo on GitHub, but we made it private. So just take that into consideration. Now, the next thing we need to do is that we need to deploy this to the cloud. And we're going to be using Netlify. Simply go to netlify.com and then click and create an account. When you come to the dashboard of Netlify, this is what you're going to see. And you can import from Git or GitHub. You can browse templates and you can create from scratch. Now, Netlify simply gives you the ability to deploy this to the web with a custom domain, but we're going to be using their generic domain. So I have my account created already. I'll click on import from GitHub, and then I want to import from GitHub. I'll need to sign into GitHub again. It brings me to this page where I see the repositories. This is one I did earlier, this one. So I don't see the one I want to deploy right now. So I'll click on configure Netlify on GitHub, and I'm brought to this page. I don't know why it's locked me out of everything. So I'll click on all repositories. I'll click on save. This is my GitHub. It appears GitHub just locked me out of everything. So this is what I want to deploy. This is what I want to deploy. So I'm going to click on MG Journal. I'm going to click on that. And I see here, it says team project name. I'll just say MG Journal. MG. Okay, it's supposed to be one word. MG Journal. So that name is available, and then it should be the main branch. Don't bother about all of this. Build npm run build and all of that. Forget about any environment variables. Just click on deploy. It will take a little while, and then it brings me to this page. Now it's preparing a deploy link. With that deploy link, we can easily push it to the internet. Now that it's finished deploying, I think we can check this on the internet. I'll just open this link on my browser. It's loading, and now you can see it clean and clear. Now, sometimes when you deploy a website on Netlify, you may see a blank screen. Simply, what you need to do is to screenshot the page and bring it to Google AI Studio, upload it and tell it, I see a blank screen, fix that. Now, what we're going to do is we need to test this. So let's I'll click on login. I'll use one of those emails I'd used before. All right, I used that email and it works. I will say never. You can see the S here. So these are, you remember what I wrote? Old tool somewhere in the world, new one, something for the whatever. And you can see the link here. This is online. Now to confirm that this is the exact account I used, let's go back. You can see old tool somewhere in the world, new one, something on the rural. You see, I made a mistake there, and it's the same mistake we are seeing here. Let's go back. You see something for the rural. So this, in a nutshell, is how you create a website using or an SaaS app using Google AI Studio, and you deploy it using GitHub and Netlify. So if you got any value out of this video, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on the notification bell. God bless you. Peace.